Are you looking for some eco-friendly ideas for your wedding day, but you're not quite sure where to start? Stay tuned, because in today's video, I am going to be sharing 5 amazing ideas to help you get the creative juices flowing. I'm Ria, wedding designer and stylist, and I love helping couples like you have fun while you plan your wedding. So in today's video, I'm chatting all about how to be a little bit more eco-conscious. We're all trying to make better choices for our planet. So when it comes to your wedding, there's a lot to deal with and a lot to plan. So if you can be a little bit more mindful as you go along when you make your choices, then it's all for the better. So let's dive in to help you get started. So the first thing that you could do to have a eco-friendly wedding is to choose a venue that is local to you. So before you start seeking too far afield, it's really a good idea to look at all your options which are right on the doorstep. You'd probably be surprised at what hidden gems you might find. If you restrict yourself a little bit on how many miles away you want to be travelling to your venue, then you might be surprised with what's actually available to you and what you could maybe turn into a wedding venue. So there's always that to consider. You are going to be visiting your venue more than just the once. So remember that you are going to have to go backwards and forwards to the venue at different times for different meetings. So it's definitely worth considering that the closer the venue is to you, the kinder you're going to be to the planet, definitely, because you're not going to be having to travel so far. And also consider like the location of where most of your guests are. If a huge bulk of your guests are in one area, like in one village or town, you might want to consider having your venue closer to those guests, because the majority live in a certain location and they can maybe car share or travel all together. So it's just getting into that mindset of what is actually possible and what you could do to cut down on all the mileage and the travel. And choosing your venue has a big knock-on effect to all those other things that are to do with the wedding. All the other choices will come from this one decision. So it's important to make sure you've weighed up all your options at the beginning. So the second thing that you could do to create a more eco-friendly wedding is to decide to have a smaller wedding. So micro weddings are still really popular, and it's really nice for creating a more intimate vibe. A really good way of making some eco-conscious choices by having smaller guest numbers means that all the quantities of everything else is going to be so much less, like the tableware and the decorations, and obviously like the catering and all that kind of thing. Even down to the venue itself, you'll need so much less space. I mean, in the winter time, you've got to think about the heating, like having heating on, that all contributes to the environment. So if you want to have a more eco-conscious day, then definitely having less guests is going to have a knock-on effect throughout the whole thing. So therefore being much kinder to the planet. So the third thing that you could do to have a bit more of an eco-friendly wedding is to choose eco-friendly wedding favours. Now, there's lots of things you can do here. If you're going to go to the effort of buying favours for your guests, you don't want to get something that they'll just put in a drawer afterwards and they won't look at it again until they mysteriously open the drawer and find it and wonder where it came from. If we're being environmentally friendly, then obviously the obvious choice is to get them something that they can plant in their garden. So you could get your guests like some plants that they could plant in the garden. It could be herbs that they could add to their garden, and seeds are a really popular one, packets of seeds. And this doesn't just have to stop at flower seeds. You could get your guests salad and vegetables so that they can plant them in their garden, and it's more of an eco-friendly and encouraging the eco-friendly ethos. You might even want to ask your guests for a little donation so that you can plant a tree like in your local woodland or something. So it's all about thinking about how you can sort of give back to the environment while you're going to be spending this money, and you know, encouraging your guests to do good as well. So the fourth thing that you could do to have a bit more of an eco-friendly wedding is to use nature. Now, this is my absolute favourite, and it is often so so overlooked. Couples forget to look at what's on their doorstep. There is so much available to you for free that you just tend to not even consider it. So some ideas for free could be going to your local woodlands and collecting loads of pine cones that you could use on your tables for the decor. You could go out in the autumn time if you're getting married in the autumn, and you could collect up loads of leaves that have fallen off the trees. They are the most beautiful colours like reds and oranges, and if this was your theme, you could press them and dry them all out and use them as a garland. So it's just about thinking outside the box and how you could use nature to your advantage. Fifth idea for having a more eco-friendly wedding is to hire your decor items rather than buying them from new. This is definitely better for the environment. If you hire items that are already in circulation rather than buying a load of new stuff that you're not going to find easy to get rid of after the wedding, and you're just putting things into circulation that don't need to be, when these things are available to you at a much cheaper cost to start with. So a prop hire company or a stylist like myself will have a large selection of stuff for you to choose from that will be reused over and over again after you have finished with it. So it's getting a longer lease of life, and it's being taken care of and reused for other weddings and other couples and styled shoots, and on it goes. So rather than you buying something from new and it gets put up in the loft or in the spare room because you can't get rid of it afterwards, so it's much better in the long run if you hire it and it is being recycled over and over again. I hope you have enjoyed today's ideas for creating an eco-friendly wedding. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, and remember to subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified of any new videos that go live. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.